The warning lights flashed across Commander Maya Torres's helmet display as her ship's sensors detected an anomaly in the depths of the Kuiper Belt. After 15 years of deep space patrol, she thought she'd seen everything the cosmos could throw at her. She was wrong. "Control, this is Commander Torres. I'm picking up unusual readings at coordinates 47, Mark 23, she reported, her experienced hands guiding her patrol vessel closer to the source. The response from Earth came with the usual 20-minute delay, but Maya couldn't wait. Something about this signal felt different. The debris field came into view first, a glittering trail of exotic metals scattered across the void like fallen stars. Maya's breath caught in her throat as her ship's lights illuminated the main wreckage. The vessel was unlike anything humanity had ever built, its organic-looking hull seemingly grown rather than manufactured, with curves and patterns that defied conventional engineering. "Artemis, begin full-spectrum analysis," she commanded her ship's AI. "And maintain constant transmission to Earth Command." "Analysis initiated, Commander," the AI responded in its familiar calm tone. "Preliminary scans indicate technology far beyond current human capabilities. The vessel appears to be powered by an unknown energy source, still active but critically damaged." Maya guided her ship closer, her heart pounding with equal measures of excitement and apprehension. The vessel was massive, easily 3 times the size of Earth's largest space cruiser, yet it showed signs of incredibly advanced engineering. What caught her attention most was the complete absence of visible propulsion systems. "Artemis, are you detecting any life signs?" The AI paused longer than usual before responding. "One extremely faint biosignature detected, Commander. It appears to be in some form of stasis. The ship's remaining power seems to be dedicated to maintaining this single life support pod." Maya's training kicked in immediately. "Begin emergency protocols. Prep the medical bay and alert Earth Command of a potential first contact situation." She knew the risks of approaching unknown alien technology, but she couldn't ignore a potential survivor. The next 4 hours were a carefully choreographed dance of safety protocols and emergency procedures. Maya used her ship's automated systems to secure a safe docking position with the alien vessel. The connection was tricky, nothing about the ship matched standard docking protocols, but she managed to create a stable seal. "Artemis, maintain ship functions and keep recording everything. If anything goes wrong, make sure Earth gets the data." Maya checked her suit's integrity one final time before entering the airlock. The interior of the alien ship was even more remarkable than its exterior. The corridors seemed to pulse with a faint bioluminescence, responding to her presence. The architecture was both beautiful and unsettling, no straight lines or sharp angles, everything flowing in organic curves that reminded her of coral formations. Maya followed her scanner's guidance toward the life signal, moving carefully through the damaged sections. The ship had clearly been through some kind of battle, portions of the hull were breached, and what she assumed were control panels were darkened and lifeless. After navigating through several chambers, she found what she was looking for. The stasis pod was a marvel of engineering, a crystalline structure that seemed to contain its own atmosphere. Inside, suspended in a pale blue field of energy, was a humanoid figure. The being inside was remarkably human-like in appearance, though with distinct differences. Its skin had a subtle iridescent quality, and what appeared to be fine, silvery markings traced patterns across its visible flesh. The being appeared female, though Maya knew better than to make assumptions about alien biology. "Artemis, are you getting all this?" "Affirmative, Commander. All data is being recorded and transmitted. Earth Command has received our initial reports and orders you to maintain position but take no further action until a specialist team arrives." Maya studied the stasis pod's control interface. The symbols were unlike any language she'd ever seen, but they seemed to pulse in patterns that triggered something instinctive in her mind. She realized with a start that the ship was trying to communicate. "Artemis, I'm seeing some kind of interactive interface here. Begin recording all symbol patterns for analysis." As she spoke, the patterns changed, and a holographic display materialized in front of her. It showed Earth's solar system, but with additional information overlaid, information that made her blood run cold. Whatever this ship was, whatever being was in stasis before her, they carried a warning. A warning about something heading toward Earth. Maya made her decision. She couldn't wait for Earth Command Specialist Team. Artemis, begin emergency stasis pod transfer protocols. We're bringing our guest home. As her ship's systems began the delicate process of securing and transferring the alien stasis pod, Maya couldn't shake the feeling that this discovery would change everything. Humanity had long debated whether we were alone in the universe. Now they had their answer, but it came with a mystery that could either be humanity's salvation or its doom. The next few hours were crucial. Maya worked tirelessly to secure the pod and gather as much data as possible from the dying ship. She knew that every piece of information could be vital, especially given the ominous warning she'd glimpsed. As her ship finally disengaged from the alien vessel, she watched as the mysterious craft's remaining systems finally failed, its bioluminescence fading into the darkness of space. Set course for Earth, Artemis. Maximum safe speed. Maya kept her eyes on the stasis pod now secured in her cargo hold. And let's hope our guest has answers, because I have a feeling we're going to need them. The quarantine facility beneath Luna Base hummed with activity as Earth's top scientists worked to understand their extraordinary visitor. 3 weeks had passed since Commander Torres brought in the stasis pod, and security was unprecedented. Maya hadn't left the facility since arrival, refusing to step away from what she'd discovered. The neural patterns are unlike anything we've seen, Dr. Raj Patel announced, studying the latest scans. He'd been working alongside Maya since day one, his expertise in xenobiology making him invaluable. It's as if their entire nervous system is quantum entangled with itself. Maya stood before the stasis pod, now surrounded by Earth's most advanced monitoring equipment. The iridescent being inside hadn't stirred, but the pod systems had begun responding to their presence more frequently. The ship's warning message showed something coming toward Earth, Raj. We need to wake her up. Her. Raj raised an eyebrow. We shouldn't assume dash. A sudden surge of energy pulsed through the pod, cutting him off. The crystalline structure began to resonate at a frequency that made everyone's teeth ache. Maya stepped forward instinctively as the blue stasis field flickered and began to dissolve. Everyone stay back, she ordered, but kept her own position. Something told her she needed to be there when their visitor woke up. The being's eyes opened slowly, revealing irises that shifted color like oil on water. There was no panic, no sudden movements. Instead, she, or whatever pronoun would prove appropriate, simply sat up with fluid grace and looked directly at Maya. You understand the gravity of what's coming. The words weren't spoken aloud but resonated directly in Maya's mind. The being's silver markings pulsed softly with each word. I am Zyra, last sentinel of the Spiral Arm Defense Network. Maya felt Raj and the others freeze behind her. First contact protocols had just been shattered, but she knew this was too important for diplomatic niceties. I saw the warning in your ship. What's coming to Earth? Zyra rose from the pod, her movements almost liquid in their smoothness. She stood slightly taller than Maya, her iridescent skin catching the facility's lights in mesmerizing patterns. The Void Swarm. They destroyed my civilization, and thousands before it. Your world is next in their path. The room erupted in controlled chaos as scientists and military personnel tried to process this information. Maya held up her hand for silence, keeping her focus on Zyra. How long do we have? 3 of your Earth months, perhaps less. Zyra's color-shifting eyes scanned the room, taking in the technology and people with rapid assessment. Your civilization's technological level, you are not ready to face them alone. Then help us. Maya stepped closer, feeling an inexplicable connection to this being who had traveled so far with such dire news. Your ship had technology we've never seen before. Can it be replicated? Zyra's expression shifted in a way that somehow conveyed both hope and sorrow. Some of it, yes. But more importantly, I carry something they want, the reason they hunt from galaxy to galaxy. Knowledge of how to stop them permanently. Dr. Patel moved forward, his scientific curiosity overcoming his caution. Your neural structure, the quantum entanglement, it's not natural, is it? You're carrying this knowledge in your very biology. Correct. Zyra turned to face the banks of Earth computers surrounding her pod. Your digital storage methods are too vulnerable. My people encoded the solution into our genetic structure, passed down through generations of sentinels. Each of us carrying a piece of the key. Maya felt a chill run down her spine. A piece? Where are the others? Gone. I am the last. Zyra's markings dimmed slightly. The void swarm found them, one by one. I carry the final piece, the most crucial part of the solution. But I need help to implement it. Your world has something unique, something my people never had. What's that? Maya asked, though something in Zyra's tone made her suspect the answer would be complicated. Unpredictability. Chaos. Your species still operates on inspiration and instinct as much as logic. The void swarm cannot comprehend this. They are pure order, pure pattern. Your chaos might be the element needed to make the solution work. Security alarms suddenly blared throughout the facility. Maya turned to the nearest console as reports flooded in. Something had been detected entering the solar system, something massive and moving in geometric patterns that defied natural law. They followed my pod's energy signature. Zyra's mental voice carried an edge of urgency. We have less time than I thought. Commander Torres, your world now faces a choice: help me implement the solution, or face the swarm alone. Maya looked at the sensor readings, then back at their extraordinary visitor. The next few minutes would change the course of human history. She could feel the weight of command settling on her shoulders as everyone in the room looked to her for direction. Tell us what you need, she said firmly. Earth doesn't go down without a fight. Zyra's markings brightened with something like approval. First, we need to secure this facility. The swarm will send advanced scouts, hybrid beings that can pass as human. Then, we need to begin the integration process. Integration? Dr. Patel asked, already reaching for his diagnostic tools. Yes, Zyra turned to Maya with an intensity that made the air feel electric. The solution requires a joining of minds. Commander Torres, you showed remarkable compatibility when you interfaced with my ship. Are you willing to carry part of this burden? Maya felt the weight of every eye in the room, but she didn't hesitate. Whatever it takes to protect Earth. When do we start? Now, Zyra replied, her markings beginning to pulse with increasing frequency. Because the scouts are already here. As if to confirm her words, the facility's lights flickered, and somewhere in the depths of Luna Base, something began to move. The integration process left Maya feeling like her mind had been stretched across the universe and snapped back into place. She could feel Zyra's presence now, a constant shimmer at the edges of her consciousness. More importantly, she understood what they were facing. The security breach is in Section 7, she announced, her newly enhanced senses detecting disturbances in the facility's power grid. The silver markings that now traced along her temples, a side effect of the integration, pulsed softly as she accessed this new awareness. 3 infiltrators, moving fast. Dr. Patel monitored her vital signs with barely concealed fascination. Your neural patterns are completely synchronized with the quantum field Zyra described. It's remarkable. Less remarking, more moving, Maya ordered, checking the charge on her pulse rifle. The weapon felt primitive now, compared to the technology she'd glimpsed through her connection with Zyra. We need to reach the quantum forge before they do. The quantum forge was their only hope of implementing the solution, a massive device they'd constructed in the past week following Zyra's specifications. It combined Earth's most advanced technology with principles that Maya now partially understood thanks to the integration. Zyra moved silently beside them as they hurried through the facility's corridors. The scouts will attempt to sabotage the forge. They cannot allow us to complete the initialization sequence. Maya nodded, feeling the truth of it through their shared consciousness. The Void Swarm operated like a virus, systematic and relentless. These scouts were just the beginning, the main force was still approaching, a vast fleet of crystalline ships that would tear Earth apart to prevent the solution from being implemented. They reached the forge chamber just as the power fluctuated again. The massive device dominated the center of the room, its quantum cores pulsing with otherworldly energy. Maya could feel it responding to their presence, recognizing the combined human-alien consciousness she now shared with Zyra. "They're here," Zyra announced, her iridescent skin darkening in response to the threat. The infiltrators emerged from 3 different entrances, humanoid figures that moved with unnatural precision. Their faces were almost perfect replicas of human features, but their eyes held the same geometric patterns as their ships. "Containment teams, hold the perimeter," Maya commanded through the facility's comm system. She raised her rifle as Dr. Patel rushed to the forge's control interface. "Raj, begin the initialization sequence. We'll hold them off." The fight that ensued was like nothing in human military history. The scouts moved with mechanical efficiency, but Maya's enhanced senses allowed her to anticipate their attacks. Zyra proved to be a formidable warrior, her body generating fields of energy that disrupted the scouts' molecular cohesion. "The sequence is at 30%. Raj called out, his fingers flying over the controls. "But something's wrong, the power coupling is destabilizing." Maya felt it through her connection to the forge. One of the scouts had infected the power grid with some kind of quantum virus. She could see the pattern of corruption spreading through the system. Without thinking, she pressed her hand against the forge's surface, letting her hybrid consciousness interface directly with the machine. "Commander, don't!" Raj shouted. "The energy levels could fry your neural pathways." But Zyra was there with her, their combined consciousness creating a firewall against the viral attack. Maya could feel the scouts' programming trying to overwhelm her, patterns of pure logic attempting to crash through her mental defenses. But this was where humanity's chaos proved its worth. Her thoughts moved in unpredictable ways, creating solutions that defied conventional mathematics. "Sequence at 60%. Raj announced. "Whatever you're doing, it's working." The scouts seemed to realize the danger. All 3 converged on Maya's position, their forms shifting to reveal weapons grown from their own crystalline substance. Zyra moved to intercept them, her body becoming a barrier of light and energy. "Keep going." Zyra's voice resonated in Maya's mind. "The connection must be maintained." Maya pushed deeper into the forge's systems, fighting through pain as the quantum energies threatened to overwhelm her human physiology. She could feel the solution taking shape, a complex pattern of energy that would disrupt the Void Swarm's fundamental structure. 80%. Raj's voice seemed distant now. Maya was aware of the battle raging around her, of Zyra fighting with increasingly desperate intensity. One of the scouts had broken through, its crystalline blade slicing toward Maya's exposed back. But the security teams had finally reached them. The chamber filled with weapons fire as Earth's defenders engaged the infiltrators. Maya held her position, even as she felt blood trickling from her nose. The quantum virus was mutating, becoming more complex, but she countered each change with a logical, human intuition. 95%. Raj shouted over the chaos. "Commander, the main swarm fleet has entered the solar system. We're detecting thousands of ships." Maya could feel them through her enhanced senses, a vast armada of crystalline vessels, each one a perfect geometric shape, all moving in precise mathematical patterns. They were beautiful in their uniformity, and utterly terrifying in their purpose. Stay with me. Zyra's consciousness wrapped around Maya's, supporting her as the forge's energy reached critical levels. We are moments away. The last scout fell, its crystalline form shattering across the chamber floor. Maya's vision was beginning to blur, the quantum energies threatening to burn out her mind. But through her connection with Zyra, she could feel the solution crystallizing into reality. 100%. Raja's triumphant cry cut through the haze of pain. Initialization complete. Maya felt the forge pulse once, twice, and then release a wave of energy unlike anything humanity had ever witnessed. The wave expanded outward at impossible speeds, carrying within it the pattern they had created, a combination of alien logic and human chaos that would rewrite the very rules the Void Swarm depended on. As consciousness began to fade, Maya saw through the facility's sensors as the wave reached the approaching fleet. The perfect geometric shapes began to waver, their mathematical precision disrupted by an equation they couldn't process, an equation born from the merger of two very different minds. The last thing she heard before darkness took her was Zyra's voice, filled with something that might have been hope. We did it. We actually did it. Maya awoke in the medical bay 3 days after the quantum forge's activation. Her first conscious thought wasn't her own, or rather, it was a mixture of her thoughts and Zyra's, their shared consciousness still intact despite the strain of the forge incident. Through their connection, she immediately sensed that something was wrong. The Void Swarm's advance fleet was shattered, Zyra's voice echoed in her mind, but the main armada has adapted. They're evolving their mathematical patterns faster than we anticipated. Maya sat up, ignoring the protests of the medical staff. The silver markings along her temples had spread, now tracing delicate patterns down her neck and across her shoulders. She could feel the quantum forge's energy still resonating through her altered neural pathways. Commander Torres. Director Elizabeth Harrison stood in the doorway, her crisp uniform and stern expression a stark contrast to the chaos of the past weeks. The Defense Council requires your immediate presence. Through her enhanced senses, Maya detected something off about the director's neural patterns. A subtle irregularity that wouldn't have been noticeable before her integration with Zyra. She kept her face neutral as she stood. Of course, Director. Dr. Patel should attend as well. But Raj wasn't answering his calm. Maya felt a chill as she realized she couldn't sense his presence anywhere in the facility. Zyra's consciousness pressed against hers in warning. The walk to the council chamber was tense with unspoken dangers. Maya's enhanced awareness picked up multiple armed guards positioned along their route, far more than usual protocol required. She could feel Zyra scanning them, detecting the same subtle wrongness she'd noticed in Harrison. The council chamber itself was dimly lit, dominated by a massive holographic display showing the Void Swarm's approaching armada. The ships had changed, their perfect geometric patterns now flowing with organic irregularity. They were learning, adapting to the chaos the quantum forge had introduced. Commander Torres, Council Chairman Victor Chen began, your actions with the quantum forge were unauthorized and reckless. You've provoked an advanced alien force and potentially doomed Earth to annihilation. Maya felt Zyra's shock mirror her own. With all due respect, Chairman, we successfully disrupted their advance fleet. The forge worked exactly as dash. The forge should never have been activated, Harrison cut in. Not without proper study. Not without understanding its full implications. She moved to the center of the room, her posture shifting subtly. We had an opportunity here, a chance to negotiate with a superior force. The pieces clicked into place in Maya's hybrid consciousness. Where is Dr. Patel? She demanded, already knowing the answer wouldn't be good. Dr. Patel became uncooperative when we explained our new direction. Chen's voice had changed, taking on a mechanical precision that made Maya's enhanced senses scream in warning. He's been contained for his own safety. Zyra's voice rang in Maya's mind, they're compromised. The swarm found a new way to infiltrate, not by replacing humans, but by altering their neural patterns. Subtle enough to avoid detection by normal means. Maya backed toward the door, her hand moving to her sidearm. You've been in contact with the swarm. For how long? Since before your integration, Harrison smiled, the expression too perfect to be natural. We've seen what they offer, Commander. Perfect order. Perfect unity. Why fight against evolution? Because it's not evolution, Maya countered. It's extinction. The swarm doesn't preserve anything of what they convert, they reduce everything to mathematics and patterns. They destroy what makes us human. Humanity is inefficient, Chen stated flatly. Look at what the integration has done to you, Commander. You're already becoming something greater. The swarm offers this to everyone. The guards were moving in, their movements too synchronized to be natural. Maya could feel Zyra preparing for battle, gathering energy that made the air crackle with potential. The forge wasn't just a weapon, Maya realized aloud. It was a test, to see if human consciousness could handle the integration without breaking. To prove we could merge with alien patterns and still retain our chaos, our humanity. And you proved it beautifully, Harrison's voice had lost all pretense of emotion. Which is why you'll be coming with us. The swarm wants to study your integration. To perfect their new approach. Maya felt Zyra's consciousness surge through their connection, showing her what needed to be done. In one fluid motion, she drew her sidearm and fired, not at the compromised humans, but at the chamber's environmental controls. The room plunged into darkness as the power failed. Maya's enhanced senses guided her as she moved, Zyra's knowledge letting her disable rather than kill the controlled guards. These were still humans, somewhere underneath the swarm's influence. We need to reach the secondary forge. Zyra's voice urged in her mind. There's another solution, one my people never dared to try. But with your human chaos factor. Maya fought her way through the darkness, her hybrid consciousness letting her move with impossible precision. She could feel the compromised council members pursuing, their movements becoming less human with each passing moment. Raj, she grunted, ducking under a guard's attack. We need to find him first. Already on it, Zyra replied. Through their shared senses, Maya felt her companion reaching out, scanning the facility for familiar neural patterns. Sublevel 3. He's alive, but weak. As they fought their way through the facility, Maya realized the terrible truth, the Void Swarm hadn't sent their main armada just to destroy Earth. They'd sent it to harvest humanity's unique capacity for chaos, to study it and learn to replicate it. And thanks to the compromised council, they'd had inside help all along. The race wasn't just against time anymore. It was against an enemy that was learning to use humanity's greatest strength against itself. And somewhere in the depths of Luna Base, a second quantum forge waited, along with a solution that even Zyra's people had feared to attempt. Sublevel 3 of Luna Base was never meant to exist. Maya's enhanced senses detected layers of security that had been carefully hidden from Earth's official records. The secondary quantum forge wasn't just a backup, it was something else entirely. They're coming, Zyra warned as Maya worked to bypass the security locks on Raja's cell. The council members are fully converting now. Their human limitations are being stripped away. The door finally yielded, revealing Dr. Patel huddled in the corner. His face was bruised, but his eyes lit up with recognition. Commander. They're not what they seem. We know, Maya helped him up, noting how his gaze widened at the sight of her expanded markings. The council's been compromised. The swarm found a way to infect humans directly, modify their neural patterns. Not just modify, Raja's voice was hoarse. They're trying to weaponize human chaos. I saw their data, they want to understand how human minds can be so unpredictable yet still functional. They want to adapt it, use it. The facility shuddered as if in response to his words. Through their shared consciousness, Maya and Zyra felt the approaching presences, the former council members, now moving with inhuman speed and precision. The secondary forge, Maya turned to Zyra. You said your people never dared to try it. Why? Zyra's iridescent skin pulsed with nervous energy. Because it doesn't just disrupt the swarm's patterns, it inverts them. Creates a quantum resonance that could rewrite the fundamental laws of spacetime within its area of effect. The risks are better than extinction, Raj finished, his scientific mind already grasping the implications. But we'd need an enormous power source. Maya felt Zyra's consciousness shift with sudden realization. The swarm ships. Their perfect geometric patterns, if we could lure enough of them close enough to Luna base. We could use their own energy against them, Maya understood instantly through their connection. But the council dash. The wall beside them exploded inward. Director Harrison stepped through the debris, her form now a horrifying merger of human and crystalline structure. Behind her, Chairman Chen and the others had undergone similar transformations. Your resistance is mathematically futile, Harrison's voice resonated with inhuman harmonics. The integration process cannot be stopped. Earth's chaos will be harvested, quantified, and repurposed. Maya pushed Raj toward the secondary forge's chamber. Get it started. We'll hold them off. She felt Zyra's energy surge through their shared consciousness, enhancing her reflexes and strength. The battle that followed defied conventional physics. The transformed council members moved like living equations, their crystalline weapons shifting and adapting with each attack. But Maya and Zyra's hybrid consciousness gave them an edge, human instinct merged with alien precision. Through their neural link, Maya felt Raj working at the forge's controls, his brilliant mind quickly grasping its alien principles. The machine hummed to life, its quantum cores pulsing with possibilities that threatened to tear reality apart. The swarm fleet, Zyra's voice echoed in Maya's mind as they fought. They're responding to the forge's activation. Moving closer. Their patterns are aligning. Just like you predicted, Maya grinned, ducking under Harrison's crystalline blade. They can't resist trying to understand and control a new pattern. The transformed council members sensed the trap too late. As the swarm fleet moved into position above Luna base, drawn by the secondary forge's unique quantum signature, Raj initiated the final sequence. Everyone who's still human, grab onto something, he shouted. Reality twisted. Maya felt the quantum resonance build to impossible levels as the forge captured the energy of the approaching swarm ships. Their perfect geometric patterns became the catalyst for their own destruction. The transformed council members screamed in harmonized agony as their crystalline structures began to fracture. The quantum inversion swept through Luna base like a tide of chaos, shattering mathematical certainties and rewriting the very rules the swarm depended on. Through their shared consciousness, Maya and Zyra guided the energy, using their unique hybrid perspective to ensure the inversion affected only the swarm and its converted agents. The human chaos factor, which the swarm had sought to weaponize, became instead the anchor that protected Earth's forces from the reality warping effect. When it was over, when the quantum resonance finally faded, Maya looked out through the facility's viewports at empty space where the swarm fleet had been. The transformed council members had collapsed, their crystalline structures dissolved, leaving only unconscious humans behind. Did we cure them? Raj asked, limping over to check Harrison's vital signs. Better, Zyra's voice was filled with wonder. The inversion didn't just destroy the swarm's influence, it made it mathematically impossible for their patterns to exist in this region of space. They can never return to this solar system. Maya felt the truth of it through their connection. The secondary forge hadn't just won them a battle, it had created a permanent defense, a bubble of altered spacetime where the void swarm's perfect patterns would instantly unravel. What about us? She asked, touching the silver markings that still traced across her skin. Our integration. Zyra's consciousness brushed warmly against hers. Is proof that chaos and order can coexist without one consuming the other. Your humanity wasn't a weakness to be harvested, Commander. It was the key to everything. As emergency teams finally reached their level, Maya looked at the unconscious council members, at Raja's tired but triumphant smile, at her own reflection showing the beautiful alien markings that represented her evolution rather than her surrender. "So what now?" she asked, feeling Earth's defense systems already adapting to incorporate the quantum barrier they'd created. "Now," Zyra replied, her physical form shimmering with renewed purpose, "we show the galaxy that humanity's chaos isn't just a weapon or a weakness. It's the future of evolution itself." Maya smiled, feeling the infinite possibilities stretching out before them. The Void Swarm had sought to perfect the universe through mathematical order. But in the end, it was humanity's beautiful, unpredictable chaos that had shown the way forward, not to perfection, but to something far more interesting: endless evolution, endless growth, endless change. The silver markings on her skin pulsed once with shared joy, a symbol of two species that had found strength not in perfect unity, but in the magnificent chaos of cooperation.